gets hurt, God forbid, if Tavares gets hurt, God forbid, Pierre Engvall is my second line center. Right?
That's bad.
That's bad. Right? So, so I'm looking at this now and saying, Dubas, am I going to go out and get something as insurance? Or am I just going to go out there and add a depth piece to something I really don't need? These are real tough questions right now. And if I'm Toronto, Montreal just made a substantial enough move where they have to do the same. And if they don't, it's you just better hope and pray that there's no injuries. And this is the last chance to do it. So I'm expecting something to happen that'll help with this, because I don't feel comfortable down the middle. And I'm hoping that's really, for me, that's actually my number one priority right now. So,
okay. So you do you think Nick Foligno, has he been playing center? Has he played center at all?
No.
So then why would he be your choice? If you want them to acquire a center for that depth in case one of those guys goes down.
No. I was just getting into
that thinking I have is that there's nobody that you're going to acquire that can replace a Matthews or a Tavares. So if one of those guys goes down, you're screwed anyways.
No, 100%. What I'm saying is, it's almost like, you buy insurance for a reason, right? You buy insurance to cover your ass if something happens. You're right. You're not going to find those two. But in Dubas's thinking of making those hockey trades, it's I'm going to find somebody that I think that's not just going to, one and done that can leave. I'm trying to find somebody that has, some capital to them that can not work with this team this year, but also into next year. There's not many guys out there that's going to happen. And that's why I'm saying to myself, he's now going to make a trade for a unrestricted free agent where he's it's almost like he's forced to get somebody for the hell of it. You know what I mean? And if that's the case, you're pretty much process of elimination. Is Nick Foligno going to be the guy that's going to come in and help put this team over the top? Or do I take my chances with what I have on the outside of the wings and try to get deeper down the middle, because one of the other teams in our division just did that? You know what I'm trying to say? It's
the thinking behind. Yeah, I get it. Who would you want them to acquire that's available at center?
Oh boy, the thing is, I don't know who's available. You know what I mean? Because there's not enough.
There's not.
That's the problem. There's not enough sellers.
Yeah, you'd probably have to pay a little bit of a premium for it.
That's what I'm getting at, right? It's almost like a lose-lose situation for Toronto. The way I see it, there's UFAs. I'm not going out and get Taylor Hall. He has 2 goals. Taylor Hall is still Taylor Hall, but I'm not paying a premium.
He's played on Buffalo, and if you look at his underlying numbers and shit like that, I know you guys don't like analytics, but if you look at some of that stuff, it's actually not as bad as those things would suggest. And maybe a fresh start with playing with some really good players would just, kickstart him. He's a zone entry master too. I think he would be great on either of those top 2 lines. But I agree in that I don't think that's what they need. But I don't think that if they acquire Taylor Hall, that would be a pretty sweet addition. He's a really good player. So,
go ahead, Rob.
I miss the days of the usual suspects being on the trade board and just packing their bags a week before, just waiting to move.
Sillinger?
Yeah, I think of
times traded.
I think of, God rest his soul, Pavel Demitra. I feel like that guy was moved every trade deadline. I don't know why in my mind.
Mike Sillinger, the NHL suitcase.
Just packed, didn't even have to be told, just packed his bags a couple weeks before and just ready to move.
All right, guys. Before we switch it around, quick, I'm going to drop you a name. You tell me what team acquires that player. Taylor Hall, where do you think he ends up?
Florida.
I'll give this one to Frank. Give him this category. Or you give your idea. Joe, who do you think?
I'd say maybe Boston.
Why nobody says Colorado?
Yeah, that would be, whoo, mamma mia. Okay, Kyle Palmieri.
Boston.
I'm going to go Islanders. Bobby has no opinion.
Nothing on this one. Keep going. I'll let you know when I'm ready to speak.
All right, last one, David Savard. Probably the top defenseman that now that Ekholm is not going to get traded, it looks like.
Boston.
Wow, Boston's going to acquire a lot of dudes. Hey, if you pick them enough times, surely you're going to be right once.
Well, they have the cap to do it, right? Exactly. One of them's gonna,
right? They need help.
end up.
So, what kind of world are we living in when Dennis Savard is like one of the top names moving? I saw the Leafs' first-round draft pick was one of the top 10 players being moved.
Number 8.
That's ridiculous.
Toronto's top prospect. It says.
What is going on in this? They gotta fix this.
There is a name there, though. Hold on. There is a name, though. Joe, you asked me a question before, and this name did escape me. And if I'm acquiring a centerman who's young, can fit with this group, can give you that that third line in the second line role. I like Scott Lawton out of Philly. I think that's
available though.
He's number 9 on the board.
I don't buy that. Why would Philly want to trade him?
They're deep.
Why not?
They're deep right now.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
They're deep and they got prospects.